Hello there, and welcome to Dr. T for today, October the 10th. That works out to 10/10, which is kind of cool, I guess. Alright, so, Stage 1, if you're rolling tanks, up the left-hand side, wicked easy. You'll get lots of kills and wins and loot, and, relatively little effort. However, if you are rolling through with Zooka because you're incredibly low level, it may behoove you to go up the right-hand side and kind of around the back, throw 4 artilleries on that rocket launcher, and then take out the 1 sniper tower, and then pretty much everything else is out of range, and you can hide behind the base and blow things up. Easy peasy. Alright, Stage 2. There are a couple of boom cannons. They have 3.5k each, and yes, at least one of them has to go. So I opted on the one obviously up at the top, and then went up through the left-hand side, well, kind of the left-hand side of the base, and then cut across the top, as you can see I am slowly doing with my slowly moving tanks. And then I blew... Alright, well, you get the idea. And then I blew up some towers. One shock will actually take all those mofos out, which is really nice if you're looking to save tanks because, you know, they're hurting. And then, obviously, blow up the HQ, get some loot, and call it a day. What's really nice about this level is it only has 38,000 on the HQ, so it's once you get past that boom cannon, it's pretty sweet loot for relatively little work. Now, Stage 3, obviously going up right-hand side is the way to go. There is a boost to the hit points of the buildings, but if you just go up that right-hand side, there is so little that can actually hit you. Really, the only thing you got to worry about is 1 rocket launcher, and if you blow that up with your GBE, you're going to be laughing. Aside from that, maybe a flare or 2 to prevent your tanks from drifting over into cannon country, and that's the win. Like, literally, once you're up here, nothing can hit you. It's ridiculous. It's so good. So, if you normally just take down 2, this is the day you're gonna get 3. I promise. It's like, it is there. It's gonna be easy. And then we're gonna move on to Stage 4. Stage 4, it's a little tougher. Now, if you're rolling tanks, and you normally do Stage 3, Stage 4 is going to be a breeze for you, because once you take out that boom cannon that I just threw some artillery at, just under, I want to say 7k, so like, let's call it 6.5k hit points on that bad boy. Once you take out that boom cannon, everything else is freaking flamethrowers and a mortar. That's all your tanks have to deal with. That's amazing. Now, if you're rolling heavy Zooka, it may be a little trickier because, you know, the whole flamethrowers melting your heavies thing. But if you wanted to get really crazy, what you could do is dump the heavies, go all Zooka on this one, and your Zookas will stay out of range of the flamethrowers. You use your GBE to take out the mortar, because the boom cannon can only shoot 1 Zooka every 4 seconds. So you just let your Zookas basically DPS down the boom cannon, and with the mortar gone, no problems, and the machine gun you just shock and take out. So if you're wicked low level, might be an option for you to take out 4, even though you normally don't get a chance to. It's another one of those, if you normally only get 3, if you're careful about it and you go all Zooka, you could probably get 4. Just a tidbit though, 156k on that HQ, so you're gonna need to have the DPS out of your poor Zooks. Alright, Stage 5. Landing right-hand side, I kind of decided with this one we were just going to charge right in there. We're just balls to the wall, let's do this. Now, for the first little bit, let the shock launcher shock your troops. Don't start wasting your shocks, shock bombs, until you're up into range of the sniper towers and cannons. You'll see the cannons turn. The second you're in range, start throwing your shocks. 1 shock can take out all sniper towers, cannons, and shock launcher, all with 1 shock. So, obviously there is technically a sniper tower way over on the left-hand side, but we're not going to get into that. That's The point is, the little block there, one shock takes the whole thing out, and then just flare your tanks over onto the right-hand side, and as you can see, assuming you've blown up that shock launcher back there, your tanks can just follow this, like, trail of easy kill road right up to the HQ. There is a boom cannon right next to the HQ that will have to be blown up before your tanks get there, or bad things are going to happen. But as you can see, right now I'm technically up on GBE compared to when I landed. And yes, don't get me wrong, I realize, you know, I'm throwing one barrage to take stuff out that's going to take like a barrage and 2 artillery, but the point is, if you've got a little bit of GBE, it should be nice and easy. Now here's the killer thing. The cannons and sniper tower don't have range on the old tanks. You can set up shop right here and blow things up for the rest of the day, or at least until your time runs out, and have absolutely no problems. Now, I'm going to fast forward things by taking out the rocket launchers and dropping some critters, but actually it's not even that much of a fast forward because look, it's already dead. Oh, it's so good. Stage 5, really nice. Again, another level where this one's definitely going to be tougher because you're going to have to shock really well and stuff like that, but you're in there, you know. If you're normally in that range of almost taking out 5, pretty straightforward 5. Now, 6, on the other hand, is misleadingly difficult. It looks like it's going to be a nice, easy, like, stroll through the park, not a big deal, but it has 144% hit points, which means your tanks are rolling in and just, like, taking forever to kill anything. So, obviously, boom cannon had to be blowed up good, and GBE was the easiest way to do that. And then there's a shock launcher over on the left-hand side. It's got to go, but the tanks can take that out because at this point, once you've taken out the sniper towers and boom cannons and stuff in here, there's not a whole lot that you got to worry about. Just a bunch of flamethrowers and machine guns, which, and obviously rocket launchers and a couple mortars. The point is, all of the things are really not that scary. Do watch out for the boom mines because they are doing some pretty serious damage at this level. So you don't want to, you know, flatten one of your tank's tires. Well, I know tanks don't have tires. You don't want to flatten a tank's track. You don't want to bust a gear. All right, dang it. Dang it all the dang. Alright, moving on. So, once you work your way into that bottom corner, just let your tanks work slowly up the left-hand side. There's not really a whole lot of defenses. Things are kind of spread out. They do have a lot of hit points, and there are some definitely, like, higher level defenses, but nothing too crazy. And there is, like, a shock launcher and some boom cannons and some craziness over on the right-hand side, but you can skip that all by cutting through the left and, you know, calling it a day. As you can see, technically at this point, I'm still up a couple of energy. I was at 101, so I was up energy at the end of this attack compared to what I started with, and that includes landing 15 tanks, which is 30 energy. So it tells you kind of how easy 6 is, but if you're a lower level and you're not able to move through it quickly, those tanks are going to get hurt, man. You're going to have to throw down some serious heals. Okay, stage 7, also really, you know, not that difficult. Pretty easy. So, double barrage on the shock launcher because, well, we want the shock launcher gone. And then a triple artillery on the boom cannon slash rocket launcher combo there because we want really the boom cannon and the rocket launcher gone. The cannon's just sort of extra fun. And then we land with some critters to distract on the old boom cannon. And as you can see, just let your tanks spread out and start blowing up machine guns. That right there is just pure tank food. That's it. Like, why not? There's flamethrowers there too. Now, here's the thing. Once you're through that first layer and you see the cannon turning, be like, oh, hey, what's up, bro? That's when you want to flare back down towards where you landed, let your tanks regroup, refocus, and kind of move into position so that they can all start focusing on the cannon to take it out. Because right now, like on this level, with 100, almost 200%, like 188, so I'm going to call it 200% health boost, everything has a ton of hit points, but it's an 80% damage boost, which means every single defense is doing almost double damage to what it would normally do. So even though normally I wouldn't care about 2 measly sniper towers, in this case I'm throwing a shock to take out both of the sniper towers and a couple of machine guns just to give my medics time to catch up, because there are a bunch of rocket launchers and they will keep the sustained damage up, which means your poor medics are going to get busy. They're going to be like sitting there throwing heals non-stop, and you know, bad things can happen. Because if they're just trying to keep everything up after barrage after barrage after barrage from rocket launchers, then they're not going to be able to heal up the really hurt troops that have taken a shot from, say, a sniper tower or a cannon. So, once we get down into the left corner, just go up that left-hand side, and there's this brick of sniper towers and cannons and craziness. Let your tanks, they're going to naturally kind of get drawn towards it. Let them go up and shoot some of it, because the stuff on the left is going to stay on the HQ. The stuff on the right is going to start shooting at these different defenses, and as you can see, with one shock you can take out almost the entire thing, at least 90% of it, because you can take out the sniper towers on either side of the main line, you can take out both cannons and 2 extra sniper towers in that line of 3 right there, and like one shock really does a number on these guys. And then once you're out of shocks, just reflare everything back down, and hopefully you've cleared enough of that stuff that your tanks are going to be able to sit there shooting at the HQ without anything too silly happening. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully this has been helpful. Hopefully this has been entertaining. And most importantly, hopefully you enjoy the new early time.